Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Crypto Tips. This is the Trading Crypto series, episode 6. Today we're talking about the different phases that we see within the cryptocurrency markets. We're going to be breaking down the time frames within these phases and how to identify them and what to expect when they happen. So let's get into it. Before you make your first trade, you got to be aware of your surroundings. You got to know what you're walking into. You got to identify the major trend that is currently happening in the cryptocurrency markets, and even more helpful is to identify the more minor trends as well, because as they're always saying, the trend is your friend. If you're trading in a way that goes against the general trend of the market, you're gonna lose money. If you're trying to short a coin during a bull market, you're gonna lose money. If you're trying to buy a coin in the bear market, it's going to depreciate in value. Now, it depends which coin you're buying. If it's Bitcoin and if the intention is for it to hold it long term, you're going to do great. But this general outlook of if your intention is to make multiple trades or to do so in the most advantageous way, you got to know what trend is going on. It's also important to note that the more major a trend is, the more unlikely or difficult that trend is to be reversed if you're still within that general time frame that trend is supposed to be occurring in. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to talk about it right now. So a major trend, it's like what we're seeing since January 2020 is a bull market. We're seeing higher highs, higher lows. The price movement is trending upwards. Now, especially in the past few months, there's been a lot of confusion and a lot of people can't decide if we're still in a bear market, if we're still in the bull market, or if we're in a bear market now. A lot of people are always looking at these particular resistance levels and the 200-day moving average of what Bitcoin is doing. So this is kind of an interesting time to be making this video, actually. But this concept of identifying if we are in a bull market or a bear market, that's trying to determine the long-term major trend of the market, the major trend. So the major trend or the long-term trend is the primary movement of the market. That's when you zoom out of your chart as much as you can and you're seeing the general trend. It may last from less than a year to several years, and it also can be a bearish, which means downward, or bullish, which means upward price movement. Much like I referenced for the time frames when you're looking at the information on your chart, the more you zoom in, the more information you get. This is what you can also see when you're looking at the major trend, and then when you zoom in a little bit closer, you're going to see these minor trends within the major trend. So even though the price is still going up, you might see a little correction period or a little downward movement, but it's still, let's say, within the realm of a bull market, which is basically what a lot of people are trying to determine right now. These are secondary or intermediate reactions to the general trend that we're seeing. They can last anywhere from 10 days to 3 months. So if we're in a bull market and let's say we see a dip or a little correction after we see a huge pump, usually we like to see a nice correction afterward to ensure that we have a nice healthy price move upward. And that's what these secondary intermediary trends are. They can last anywhere from, like I said, 10 days to 3 months, and it typically retraces anywhere from 33% to 66% from the primary price change of the previous secondary or intermediary trend. So those are the major and minor trends of, the general price movements that can happen during a market at any point in time. So now let's go ahead and identify the different phases of the market and what it actually means. So the first one we got to look at is the accumulation phase. This one is kind of straightforward in that it's a period when the people who know better are the ones that are basically supporting the market. Accumulation phases typically look very boring on a market for anyone who is attracted to high prices or is waiting for a dip to buy even lower. Accumulation phases can be pretty boring. It's when the price is just kind of staying within a range, or they might say range bound. Basically, it's that people are buying at these certain prices and they're buying enough to support the market despite the amount of selling pressure that is happening. So it could be that, you know, the people who know better, who can identify an accumulation phase as a good time to buy the crypto that they're looking at, they're going to be buying here. So if you want to look at a recent accumulation phase, think of, you know, the year 2019 or the 2020. Look at that time frame on the Bitcoin chart and tell me what you see. The next phase that often follows the accumulation phase is the absorption phase. This is when other people start catching on. And finally, they're like, oh, yeah, maybe this is a good time to buy Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency you're looking at. And that's when the masses or just more people are buying, and so there's more buy pressure on the market, so it pushes the price higher, which makes it more attractive for other people to be coming in. So basically it's when we start really seeing a kick up of, let's say it's a major trend of a bull run, when we start really seeing some momentum upward in that movement. If you want to look at a time frame for this, think of the year 2020, 2021, and you'll see when it really starts kicking off. And then the last phase we have here is the distribution phase. This happens after all that, you know, everyone catches on and the masses start piling in. Everyone and your mother is talking about Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin, and you're seeing it hit all-time highs day after day after day. Rampant speculation is going on. People who know nothing about cryptocurrencies are suddenly expert in cryptocurrencies because they invested in it one time. This distribution phase follows that when the people who bought during the accumulation phase start taking profits. They start distributing the coins that they bought earlier. They're selling them to people who want to buy it at a higher price. So the distribution phase is basically introducing this sell pressure onto the market. And as these new and speculative investors are running out, they can't really absorb the sell pressure that these accumulators, smart investors are now putting on the market. They want to take their profit. Fair enough. Everyone should, I think, take some profit should benefit from their early intuition to buy a coin when it's a good time to buy it. Anyway, that's when basically you see the price start dropping, the volume can start dropping as well. So that's when we see the entrance of a bear market. And markets move in cycles, people. The sooner you can understand that, the better you can take advantage of that knowledge and buy early and sell at a profit. And yeah, really reap the benefits and just keep riding that cycle. As long as you're buying low and selling high, you're going to do great. Always accumulating Bitcoin is always a good idea in my opinion also. But anyway, in the next video, actually I'm getting into already the next video in this series, I'm going to be covering swing tradings and identifying trend reversals, because everyone and their mother, whoever is trying to invest or trade, at least, even if you're a swing trader, even if you're a rare trader of cryptocurrencies, everyone wants to know when to buy low before it kicks off and when to sell high before it drops down. So anyway, that's the information I will be covering in episode 7 of this series. If you guys haven't subscribed yet to this channel, I highly recommend you do that so you can get notified. Hit with the bell notification so you can get notified when that video comes out. If you guys enjoy this series, please let me know in the comments down below and hit the like button so I know that you guys like this video. I'll be coming to you again real soon, continuing this series. I have several videos lined up for this series, so lots of information to cover, and you'll get it all. So I'll see you again real soon. Until then, hope you're staying happy and healthy. Bye, guys.